What's going on, everybody? And welcome to Amla Green Live. We have Stefanie with us today, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about her, although you already know who she is. But we're going to be getting started with a beautiful blueberry crumble recipe that you are going to absolutely love. I want to give a huge shout out to our friends over at Mastering Diabetes, where we are also simulcasting. And holy cow, Stefanie, how you doing? You're here every other Friday on the Amla Green channel, providing delicious, low-fat, whole food, plant-based recipes, and we have another one that's just incredible today. So how you doing? You feeling good?
I'm feeling so good. Thank you for having me again, Corey. I love to be here. I love sharing these recipes, and I'm really excited for this one.
Well, I am gonna let you do your thing. We're gonna take me off the screen, but before we do, I have to say, folks, stay tuned till the end. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from, because I have an absolutely mind-blowing deal for you on Amla Green. I am revealing this secret deal to you before we go live with it tomorrow. I've made it live just for you. So hang out till the end. I'm going to come back after Stefanie does her short recipe, and then we're going to give you the goods. So Stefanie, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. It's a really beautiful Friday here in Las Vegas. And I am super excited to share with you my recipe for blueberry crumble for one. In other words, in individual size servings. Whoops, I almost knocked it over. So they're going to be we'll make 3 of them while we're at it, but you'll be able to enjoy these one at a time, and they're so delicious. They're sweetened exclusively with fruit. They do happen to be gluten-free, and they're perfect for a snack or dessert, or even a small breakfast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you about the ingredients, and then I'm going to show you how to do this step by step. I think you'll be really shocked how easy it is, and for the result at the end, very, very much worth the effort. And then I will show you the finished product. So you'll get to see what it looks like at the end. If you have any questions as I am demonstrating this recipe, please put them into the comments, and we will answer them at the end. I would just like to give a quick shout out to everyone who's watching today. Paula from Florida, hi. Claudia from Germany, oh my goodness, welcome. Thank you for joining us from so far away. We've got Ryan, Jamie, Romania, Yael, Paula, Denise. This is so wonderful. Thank you, friends, so much for being here. I'm so excited to bake with you today. I just love these live sessions because I can get to see who's watching. Hello, Marcia. Hello, Catherine. All right. Let's talk a little bit now about the ingredients here. And do please remember, put your questions in the comments, and I'll touch on them at the end. I love that aspect of our live demonstrations as well. For our ingredients, I've got about 2 cups of what I'm using frozen blueberries right now because blueberries aren't in season, but I use the little tiny wild blueberries. I get these frozen at Trader Joe's. They're not too expensive and they are great. What I did before we started this presentation is I heated up some hot water in my kettle and I thawed them out. I just put the blueberries in a bowl and I poured the hot water over them. Just let it sit for a few minutes and I drained away the water. That's a real quick, easy way to thaw your frozen blueberries. I also have some pureed dates. I started with a 1/4 cup of pitted dates. And again, I poured hot water over these as well. I let them sit a little longer. And then I pureed them in my food processor. And I did that in advance just for the purposes of this demonstration, but this would be one of the steps of this recipe that you could do. As for the other ingredients, very quickly, I've got some rolled oats, some ground flaxseed, some oat flour, and some low-fat almond flour. This you can buy online on Amazon, or you can just use regular almond flour if you'd like instead. The low-fat almond flour has the obvious advantage of being lower in fat and calories, and it is a little higher in protein, and the almond flavor is more intense. So you can find that on Amazon or some other health food retailers as well. I've got cinnamon, vanilla, a little bit of arrowroot powder, which is an herb. You can get this in your spice section. And then this recipe is going to be using Amla Green pumpkin spice and elderberry. So we're going to get a little extra bonus of antioxidants, and that's always great for our health as well. Anything else? No. Some preliminary steps. You're going to preheat your oven to 350. And actually, I am going to use my toaster oven for this. And I have gotten my 3 baking ramekins. These are 7-ounce baking ramekins. You can buy these at big box retailers like Target, for example. But if you don't have them and you don't want to buy them, you can absolutely use a oven-safe mug, like a drinking mug. And you can make your blueberry crumble in here instead. This was the source of the noise earlier. I put them on a tray that will fit into my toaster oven. If you're using a normal oven, that's fine too. I'm going to set this aside for now. The reason that you want to put them on a tray is just on the off chance that they bubble over a little bit, the tray will catch any extra liquid. It probably won't happen, but if it does, you won't have a mess in your oven. So that's an advisable precaution to take. So I think we'll just get started here on the recipe demonstration. We'll begin with our dry ingredients. So I have a mixing bowl here, and I'm going to add my ½ cup of rolled oats first. Now, don't worry, you don't have to jot all of the ingredients down. We will be dropping the full written recipe into the comments at the end, so you can just reference it there. I've got a tablespoon of oat flour that I measured out in advance. I've got my tablespoon of the low-fat almond flour, and I'll add that too. Can't wait for you to see how easy this is. It comes together in a snap, basically, especially once all the ingredients are measured. This is a ½ tablespoon of ground flaxseed. This is another great ingredient for your health. And I use golden flaxseed. I find the flavor a little more palatable than brown flax. So if you're shopping for golden flaxseed, in my opinion, is the way to go. We will add a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. I buy mine in bulk and I keep it in like a ball jar. Just handy. I use it so much that it pays for me to get a larger quantity. I buy this on Amazon too. And then this is, by the way, the dry ingredients we're making is our topping for the crumble. We're going to put 2 scoops of amla green pumpkin spice. And this has not only cinnamon and obviously the amla, the Indian gooseberries, which is so good for your heart health and your blood sugar control, but it also has some cinnamon, ginger, and cloves. And that's a really nice complement to these other flavors here for our blueberry crumble. All right, so now I'm just going to mix this up until it's sort of uniformly combined, and I'll show you what this looks like. Just takes, only a second here. And I'll hold this up so you can see. Basically just like a dry cereal, like a muesli consistency right now. We're going to add some wet ingredients in a moment. Okay. Next up, I'm going to switch over to my date puree. This, like I said, I just took some pitted dates and I soaked them in hot water, and then I pureed them in my food processor. If you have one of those little NutriBullet blenders, that would be an excellent tool for this task. After your dates are soft, you can put them into a blender, like the little NutriBullet blender. If you use a big blender, it's not enough ingredients. They'll just splash up on the sides of the blender and you won't actually get them to blend. So a food processor or a little single serving blender would be great for this. And I put about a ¼ cup, which is 4 tablespoons, maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons of the water that I soaked the dates in, into the blender just to give it some liquid to move around. And if you were doing this step all at once, you could also do this step, which is to add a ½ teaspoon of vanilla extract. You could put that in the blender and do it all in one step. But since I pureed my dates in advance, I'm just going to add the vanilla extract and stir it around right now. And this is like nature's caramel, honestly. The smell is amazing. The dates are so sweet. And when you add a little touch of vanilla to it, it's really just, it's out of this world. The flavor is amazing. And this is the only, well, aside from the natural sweetness of the blueberries, this is the only sweetener that you need to use for the topping, for the crumble topping. So this becomes a really healthy snack or dessert. Okay, once that's all mixed together, I'm going to transfer it to the dry ingredients for our crumble topping. Nice and easy here. I'm using a silicone spatula, one of my favorite kitchen tools. It's so versatile. It's heat proof, but it also kind of really scrubs out all of the ingredients so none of it is left in your bowl, because you might as well get all that flavor in there. Okay. slide this into the sink. And I'm just going to kind of use the silicone spatula to press these liquid ingredients or semi-liquid ingredients into the dry ingredients until I don't see any dry streaks left. So you can see in the intermediate step here that it's kind of getting a little bit mixed, but not yet. So I'm going to keep going. And the reason that we do these demonstrations, part of it, obviously just to share whole food plant-based recipes so you can live a healthier lifestyle, but it's to encourage you to incorporate more amla green into parts of your daily routine that you might not be used to. So of course you can drink it as tea, but you can also work it into your dessert recipes and even your savory meals. So that's part of our goal here. And you just get the maximum health benefit that way when you're getting a couple scoops, maybe in 3 scoops a day. Okay, I'm to the point here now where I don't see any more dry streaks. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. There you go. So it's just kind of wet now, kind of like wet sand consistency. I'm going to put that aside just for a moment. Actually, one thing I do like to do, since we are going to make 3 servings, is here's like a little bit of a tip, because we're going to divide this among the ramekins. And so I kind of like to spread it out as evenly as I can on the bottom of the bowl. And then I kind of sketch out thirds. So I come down from the top to the middle, and then I branch out, almost like a peace sign. So that way I kind of have an idea what thirds look like. I don't know if you can see that, but a little tip for when I need to apportion things like that. It helps to make it a little more even. Okay, moving now to our thawed frozen blueberries. I'm going to add a little bit of the amla green elderberry, the immunity blend. Now the elderberries have a little bit of a naturally tart flavor. I'm going to put 2 scoops in, by the way. So if you don't want your blueberries to have a little bit of a tart flavor, you could also at this point, if you want to, add a little bit of pure maple syrup just to balance for the sweetness. Personally, I skip that because I love the way that the tartness and the natural sweetness of the blueberries are already balanced with the sweetness of the topping. But if you don't want any tartness, then you could do that, but still get the benefit of the amla green elderberry, the immunity boost. So now I'll take a soup spoon and I'm just going to mash a little bit of these blueberries. And this is actually the reason I took the time to thaw them first. Otherwise, you could just use them frozen. But I want to have a little juice in the bowl because once I get the amla green elderberry incorporated into the blueberries, and so I'll just stir until I don't see it anymore. Basically, it gets absorbed. I'm also going to add a little bit of arrowroot powder. I'll show you that in a second. I lifted that up so you could see it at the beginning of the video. And I'm going to put a teaspoon of this herb powder into the blueberries. And the purpose of this is to thicken the blueberries while they bake. So you can skip the arrowroot powder if you want to. If you do, then your blueberries will be a little bit more liquid in consistency when you enjoy your blueberry crumble. But if you add the arrowroot powder, then the blueberry and the juice kind of thicken, and I think you'll enjoy the texture a little more because it kind of, it's more what you're used to from a fruit crumble. So you can kind of, well, I'm not sure, I don't want to lift it too much, but basically the arrowroot powder makes the juice a little bit cloudy when you look at it, and that's going to thicken in the heat of the oven, and it's going to be amazing. Okay, so believe it or not, our ingredients are now ready to go into our baking ramekins. So I'm just going to pull this back over here. This is our 3 ramekins, and again, if you missed me saying it earlier, you can use like a oven-safe mugs in place of these ramekins if you don't have them. So first, I'm going to divide the blueberry mixture among the 3 baking ramekins. I want to get a little bit of the juice in each one as well. So with this, like I said before, I'm using these wild blueberries, so they're really tiny. I find these really nice for baking and for making smoothies. I'm using about 2 heaping soup spoonfuls at first to kind of even it out. And then I'll just eyeball the rest of the way until they look roughly even in volume. For these 7-ounce baking ramekins, the blueberries basically fill about half, maybe even a little more than half the volume. Okay, and I do have a little of this juice left. I'll try to decide which one needs the most juice. There we go. Perfect. That's step 1. Step 2, I'll come back to my bowl of the topping. And like I tried to demonstrate, I have already kind of roughly divided it into thirds, so that'll make it super easy to divide. I'm just going to lay it on top of each ramekin, on top of the berries. And I'll use my silicone spatula to kind of even it out a little bit. If you don't mind getting your hands dirty, you can just get your fingers in there and kind of crumble it up a little more if it's in bigger chunks. So there we've got one. I'm going to show you what that looks like. Just kind of use my fingers to spread it out. Don't worry, my hands are clean. So that's what it looks like. Try not to pour it out, but basically you can kind of see it just like that. So that's what they look like. And we'll do that 3 times with the remaining topping, crumble topping. And then I'll slide this into the oven for only 20 minutes. When it's done, it will look a little bit golden on top and the blueberries will be bubbling and hot. So you'll want to wait for it to cool off. But that's basically it. That's how you make it. I dropped my towel. And so I would love to show you now what it looks like when it's done. But before I do, maybe this would be a good time to address any questions that came up. If we have any, let's see. Jenna asks, does the amla green need to be refrigerated? I do believe on the container, it does recommend refrigerating it when you receive it, yes, to preserve it as the nutritional value as best as we can. Any other questions? Linda, will you have the recipe printed somewhere? Great. So yes, we are going to share the full written recipe in the comments below once we finish with this live presentation. So thank you for asking. Great. Okay. If we don't have any other questions, then I'd love to show you what this looks like. I made this yesterday, and you'll see that it looks very similar to the pre-baked version, but the topping has become golden brown and a little bit crispy. So I'm just going to taste it right now, or at least show you what it looks like. So you'll kind of pierce through the crumble topping, and you'll see that the blueberries have thickened quite a bit. Can you see it? I'm going to show you there. So that's why we're using the arrowroot powder in this recipe. And I'll just, every time I taste it online, and everyone wants to see it, but then I'm going to have my mouth full. It's so perfect, you guys. It's wonderful. I did just eat one for breakfast before this, and it's just so yummy. Now, we did advertise Blueberry Crumble for One, but I really think given how easy it is, you might as well do a few at once, and also because your pureeing dates and things, you need to have at least a minimum amount of ingredients in the blender. But if you only wanted one, you can absolutely refrigerate these, or freeze them, and then heat them up in the microwave or the toaster oven and enjoy them one at a time. So I think if we don't have any other questions, we can wrap this up. And I just want to thank you very much. Thank you for the honor of inviting me. Our friends at Amla Green invited me to share this recipe. I hope that I can connect with you more at Green Sage Life on Instagram and YouTube. And I would love to invite Corey back now to
Hey, everybody.
The offer.
Oh my gosh, Stefanie, that was like so delicious. And I don't know about you, but like my favorite, well, I know you love this part, but my favorite part was when you actually tasted it and your real life reaction to the piece. All right, listen, I promised you guys that I would come back with a spectacular deal, and I'm going to give you this secret. But I need to know that you want it, all right? Because I don't want to sell this to you if you don't want it. So let me know in the comments if this is something that you're down for. Just reply with the words yes. Now there's a few minutes of a delay. I'm going to assume that you want this deal because the products that Stefanie just showed are absolutely stellar. We're talking about Amla Green, of course. And, you know, just for being here on the live, I want to make sure that I give you a deal. Okay. I've got a lot of people saying yes, 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 yes. Okay. All right. Okay. We're good. We're good. All right. We're going with the yeses. Here we go. So you guys are familiar. You probably know and love the Amla Green Classic. That is the green bottle. All right. So if you go over to amlagreen.com, you see this green bottle. But what you don't know, and the insider secret that we're going to be launching to the world this weekend, but you are the first people to know about it, is you can also get this 90 servings of Amla Green Immunity, the elderberry immunity, for 40% off, Stefanie.
Wow.
40% off. But you can only get it when you get this combo together. What you're going to do, you're going to add this to your cart. All right. And right before you check out, you're going to see that pop up. And thank you to our producer, Bess, for doing this. It's going to say, hey, do you want this for 40% off? I want you to just hit yes, add it to your cart, and then happiness awaits. It'll be shipped right to your door. It's free shipping. You're going to save a ton of money, and it's right there for you. Now, guys, normally this alone is a $59 value, and this is a $29 value. 59 plus 29 is a lot of money. You're not paying that for this, all right? I don't know what the total is. I think it's like 60, 65 plus dollars, something of that nature. Instead of $59.99, you are paying $35. And this one is less than $1 a serving at $29.95. So you can't beat it, guys. You're going to be set up for 60 plus 30 or 30 plus 90 days. You got it. You got it all taken care of, okay? And again, free shipping. Any questions at all, just let us know. Go over to amlagreen.com. And again, just add this to your cart. You're good to go. I hope that works. I hope that works for you guys. So, anyways.
Awesome.
Oh, if you need decaf, Jenna, just email our customer service team. We'll take care of you. No worries. In fact, I'll just make sure. I'll make sure that it works as well. I'll go ahead and add it right now so that when you get in there, you can also access decaf and you can get it. Okay? You just let me know. All right, everybody. Well, Stefanie, you say goodbye to everybody because these are your people.
Okay, great. I just want to say Chris wrote, I just got my husband started on Amla Green, so I need all the discounts we can get. Aww. I love that. Same, Chris. I'm totally with you. I'm actually drinking a cup of the original right now. I drink it with my breakfast every morning, and I'm a tea snob, so I can tell you I love tea and I love Amla. And the fact that it comes with the huge discount on the elderberry, and we just showed you a great way to use that, I think this is a deal you can't pass up. I love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, everybody, if you have any questions, let us know. Of course, the classic flavor does have a little bit of caffeine in it from the green tea. It's about half a cup of coffee, 45, milligrams of caffeine. If you want the decaf, I'm literally going and making that available right now. So that when you select that item, it will also pop up for you with the 40% off. So no big deal. We got you covered and you are good.
Great. Thank you so much, Corey. Amazing.
Thanks, everybody. All right. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. See you next time.